Hello, once again, Aaron here, GameEnthus.com. Today's video is about Cloud Control. Cloud Control is a shape building party game. You can read that on the image of the box, right? Yes, I'm reading that off the box, but that's what it is. I mean, that's really what it is. It was designed by, Cloud Control was designed by Eugene Bryant, playable ages 8 and up, 3 to 10 players, 3 to 10, wow. And it's published by 25th Century Games. Let's see what it's all about. This is the box for Cloud Control. So these are the components in Cloud Control. In Cloud Control, you are going to have 64 cloud cards, 16 different types of cards, 4 of each card. In addition to the cloud cards, you're going to have 300 shape cards. Each shape card has 5 different words on them. 2 of the words will score you 1 point if someone guesses what it is, and 2 of the other words will score you 3 points. These are the 1 point tokens in yellow there, and the 3 point tokens in red. And then each card has a lightning bolt symbol and another word, and that's for the lightning round. I'll get into that in a second. And 300, so that's a lot. So 300 cards with 5 words each, so quite a bit. And then you have a 90-second timer. And then you have a card holder, which you can use to hold cards. Well, a card at a time. The player with the supposed sunniest disposition would go first. So that player would draw a card that only they would look at. They could use the aforementioned card holder if they wish, but for this example, I'm just going to put it down here on the table. And they have a card here with 4 different words. The words are worm, glove, flex, and light pole. Oof. Wow. Okay. So some of the rules: you can't make sounds. Obviously you can't saying words, making sounds. You can kind of pantomime, like if you mean something like fly, you kind of maybe go like this or something like that. You can kind of use your hands a little bit. Pointing, I'm not absolutely sure I'm pointing. Let me check here. Okay, I just say the things you can't do. You can't speak, can't make sounds. You can't use sign language except to say the listed shape after it's guessed. Interesting. You can't create letters or numbers or give the number of letters in the shape. Okay. Well, anyway, there's limitations on what you can and can't do. So let's say I'm the first player going. I have the sunniest disposition. I'm the only one here, so I guess by default, I would have the sunniest disposition.
Default! Woohoo! The 2 sweetest words in the English language. Default! Default!
All right, so I drew this card: worm, glove, flex, and light pole. So the timer would start, and I would have 90 seconds with which to get people to guess. So I'd probably grab maybe this. Whoa. Maybe that. And oh boy. Let me do something like this. But yeah, no, actually I want this. So I do this. And while I'm doing this, people are going to be, shouting things out and screaming and yelling and this, that, and the third, trying to get me to do it. So I can also kind of take it and move it along and things like that. And people are going to be yelling. I don't really think this is a very good worm, but let's say I did this. Somebody's going to yell out cane or umbrella or something like that, and snake. And as I'm not telling them they're right. So when somebody is correct, you can do something like a thumbs up or something like, something to let them know, some nonverbal communication to indicate that they've gotten it correct. So let's say somebody said worm, then I wouldn't get the point then. I would say like thumbs up so they know they're right. And then I move on to another word. I might move on to glove or flex or flex and light pole. Okay, light pole could be possible, I guess. How would I do that? All right, so I did run out of time, but I just want to, now that these cards are here, now I feel like I want the challenge of trying to figure out how would I do that. So if I had to do flex for 3 points, maybe I'd do something like this. I take this, And no, not that one. I take this one, put that there, and then I'm sure people be yelling out things like bull or hat or something like that, and maybe no, let me take these two, put them like that, and then do something like this. Now, I said you can make gestures, so maybe if I guess if I did this and I went like kind of like this or something along those lines, maybe somebody, hey, feel like, but anyway, that's the kind of thing you would have to do to get sort of to augment like what you're trying to do. It's a combination of clearly what people can see visually and maybe what you're bending the rules by pantomiming to convey, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what a player would do on their turn. You'll go around, everybody get a chance to do that. Like I said, you can start off with the easiest one, start off with the hardest one. It's up to you what you decide to do. But the whole point is, at the end of your turn, whoever guessed, like I say, somebody said worm, they would get a single point and I will get a single point. So it's an opportunity for everybody to score on every turn. You're either scoring as the person putting things together or one of the people who are guessing what the words are. So let's say maybe somebody got flex, same thing. They will get 3 points and I would get 3 points. So that's what a typical turn might look like in Cloud Control. After everybody has a turn, then you do what's called the lightning round, where the first player, second player, doesn't really matter. We'll flip over a card and you would look at the lightning bolt symbol and the word that's to the right of it. And the word here is Cupid. At that point, everyone simultaneously. And that's the part that's interesting to me because this game is playable between 3 to 10 players. I'm trying to imagine 10 people all descending upon this thing at the same time. Maybe 10 players, because I know there are some variants in the rule book. The 10 players might be for maybe a team-based kind of thing where you're doing things collectively as a team or something like that, because 10 people rifling through all this would just... that could be chaos. So let's say it was Cupid. You start the timer, and then everybody at the same time is going to be getting cloud cards and putting things together. Not for anybody to guess at that point, but everybody's going to be trying their best to do their best representation of Cupid. So let's say the timer started, lightning round, and they are double-sided. So let's say we have a heart here. I might take, no, maybe more than one of those. I can only grab one card at a time. I can't just grab everything on a particular card. I have to try to convey like some sort of arrow here. Oof, this is tough. Okay, no, only too bad. So then I would do this, and then maybe do that. Grab one of these. So let's say I did something like this, where I'm trying to convey like an arrow shooting a heart, like Cupid. But because it's different than guessing, everybody knows what the word is. At that point, once the timer runs out, you will be voting on whose card setup of cloud cards best conveys what the word is. We're all working on Cupid at the same time. So Cupid's way over here. So, and you cannot vote for yourself. So if you are the winner, that person will get 5 points. So they get either 5 singles or a 3 and 2 ones. And that's lightning round. Then everybody would take one more turn, a solo turn, creating things for other people to guess, try to get them to guess correctly to earn points. Another lightning round, then another turn, and that's the game. And whoever has the most points wins. I could have done a much better arrow, I think. But remember, there's only 4 of each card. So I played with 4 other people in my immediate family, and it got pretty crazy. I mean, if all of these are gone, you got to come up with something else. You gotta figure it out. So things I like the components. I think the premise is interesting, where I'm assuming that Eugene Bryant and a lot of playtesters and folks have literally I'm assuming created something for each one of these words. I like to think, because there's a lot of words. There's 300 cards with 4 words and then the lightning round word. So I guess maybe it's wishful thinking that they've gone through the arduous task over time of actually taking these shapes and making everything. It's sort of the way, if you think about how when the Wii, maybe in the first couple of years of the Wii, you know, they had the apps on it, the Wii Parade, all that kind of stuff. And I was always just so surprised by how people were able to create like licensed characters and things using the limited shapes that were offered for a Mii. But people come up with all types of stuff. It's like, wow, it looks just like whatever that character is, Mickey Mouse or Bart Simpson, whatever. You knew what that character was, despite the fact that you could customize your Mii, but only so much. You only had so much wiggle room. People got really creative. So I feel like it's the same thing here. This is the kind of game where it's a party game. It says party on the box, but 3 to 10 players. Like, I really do think it works really well at just getting people to sort of just think out of the box and get really creative about how they want to convey a word. I put on the table, I looked a little bit doubtful, like, I don't know. 5 minutes into it, we were all in. I mean, we were having a blast. And, you know, sometimes the funny thing is laughing at how inept someone's depiction can be, or just marveling at how someone took something very limited and created exactly what they wanted and that you knew what it was. Also, having a familiarity with people you're playing with helps.
You know, when you look up at clouds in the sky, they start looking like stuff. No, they don't. Yeah, they do.
People in my immediate family, we know each other very, very well. I keep knocking this over. And some things, even if what they had laid out in cloud cards wasn't really all the way there, between their inevitable facial expressions, mannerisms, nonverbal communication, without pointing to things. You can't just point to in the room. It's not like you can point to Cupid and say, oh, you know, if you were in the regular round. But it was fun. We really enjoyed it. One of the things I didn't like, I think my only complaint was one of the initial comments early on. And my response was probably largely due to just the quantity of cards. There's 300 of them, in addition to the 64 with clouds. Was the cards are very, very small. That's a nitpicky thing. I know it's a small thing, but that was one of the comments I got. I was like, why are the cards so small? And my response was probably because there's 300 of them. That's Cloud Control. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, leave a comment, share, all those wonderful things. Did I say like already? Yeah, like it. And yeah, take care. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Be blessed.